He knew your name, and that's nearly all."
"He's a wise man who asks no questions."
"Perhaps, but I did. I made inquiries."
"Do you think that was very nice of you? How did you do it? Did you employ a private detective?"
Unfortunately, there was no need for that. The information I sought was all over London. Jack must be the only person in town who has not heard it.
"I always look upon myself as safe from the scandalmongers. You see, they can never say anything about me half so bad as the truth."
Herbert, looking at her steadily. "I found out, Mrs. Vivian, how you obtained the money upon which you and Jack are proposing to live."
"You must be quite a Sherlock Holmes. How clever you are!"
"I want you to pardon me for what I am going to do, Mrs. Vivian."
"Pray don't apologize."
"I know it's a beastly thing. It makes me feel an utter cad. But I must do it for Jack's sake. It's my duty to him."
"Doubtless it's very praiseworthy to do one's duty. I notice people are always inclined to do it when they will inflict pain upon others."
"For God's sake, don't sneer, Mrs. Vivian."
"You do a shameful thing, and you expect me to pat you on the back?"
"I don't want to hurt you. I haven't the least animosity towards you. That's why I came here today."
"But I really don't understand you."
"I should have thought it plain enough. Isn't it clear that Jack can't marry you?"
"Goodness gracious me! Why not?"
"Do you wish me to tell you to your face what I learned about you?"
"In the course of your discreditable inquiries? Well, what is it?"
"I wish to spare you this."
"Oh, no! I'm sure you wish to spare me nothing. Far be it from the virtuous to refrain from trampling on the wicked."
"If you insist, then. I know that this money was settled on you by Lord Feverham when he married."
"Well?"
"Do you deny it?"
"Why should I, when you probably have proof that it is true?"
"I also know that Lord Feverham had good reason to do this. Oh, you hate me and think me a cad and a brute, but what can I do? If you knew what agony it has caused me! I believe Jack loves you, and I dare say you love him. For all I know, he may hate me for what I'm doing now. I wish with all my heart there was some other way out of it."
"Do you wish me to sympathize with you?"
"Oh, you're stone cold. I only come to you because I want to be your friend. And even if you'd married Jack, he must have found out sooner or later, and then it would have been 1,000 times worse."
"What do you want me to do?"
"Break off the marriage, of your own accord. Don't let him know the reason. Let us try to save him from the humiliation and the pain. Write to him and say you don't love him enough. It's so easy."
"But I haven't the faintest wish to break off my marriage with Jack."
"It's not a matter of wish. It's a matter of necessity. The marriage is utterly impossible for his sake, for the sake of his people. It means absolute social ruin to him."
"What you say to me sounds excessively impertinent, Mr. Peyton."
"I'm sorry. I have no wish to be so."
"And you want me to go to Jack and say I won't marry him?"
"It's the only thing you can do. Otherwise, he must find out. It's the only thing you can do if you want to save your honor in his estimation."
"I should be as it were defeated, but not disgraced."
"It's for your own sake."
"Then let me tell you that I haven't the least intention of giving Jack up."
"But you must."
"Why?"
"He can't marry you. It would dishonor him."
"How dare you say such things to me? You come to my house. And I try to be friends with you, and you insult me. You dishonor yourself."
I came here to give you a chance of retiring from the engagement without the real reasons being known.
"What business is it of yours? Why do you come here and interfere with us? Do you think we're fools and simpletons? Why don't you leave us alone? Who are you that you should preach and moralize? You're ridiculous. You're simply absurd."
I've tried to do my best for you, Mrs. Vivian.
"You've behaved like a perfect gentleman."
You can say or think of me what you choose, Mrs. Vivian. I've shielded you as much as I could. But my business is to stop this marriage, and by God, I mean to do it.
"You don't think of me?"
It can make no difference to you." Lottie, about to break out passionately, but with an effort restraining herself.
"Oh, what a fool I am to let myself be disturbed by what you say. It's all nonsense. And how, pray, are you going to prevent me from marrying Jack?"
I have only one way left, and you've driven me to it. I shall tell him everything I know."
"Very well. You shall tell him now, immediately."
She touches the bell, and the servant comes in.
"Ask Mr. Raynor to come here."
"Yes'm." Servant goes out. Lottie, smiling scornfully.
"I warn you that you're going to make an absolute fool of yourself, Mr. Peyton."
Herbert bows.
"But perhaps that experience will not be entirely new."
Jack comes in.
"What a time you've been, Jack. If it weren't for the high character that Mr. Peyton has been giving you, I should fear that you had been writing love letters. Mr. Peyton wishes to speak to you on matters of importance."
"That sounds rather formidable. What does he want to talk about?"
"About me."
"Ha, ha, ha! That is indeed a matter of importance."
"Shall I leave you alone? Mr. Peyton would rather say ill-natured things of me behind my back."
"On the contrary, I should like you to stay, Mrs. Vivian. I am quite willing to say before your face all I have to say." Lottie, sitting down.
"Very well. To me it's a matter of perfect indifference."
"Good heavens! You've not been quarreling already?"
"No, of course not. Go on, Mr. Peyton."
"I was rather surprised to hear of your engagement, Jack." "To tell you the truth, I was rather surprised myself. The thing was a bit sudden."
"The idea had never entered Jack's head till I indelicately proposed it to him."
"But I accepted with great alacrity." "Have you known one another long?" "Ages." "And who was Mr. Vivian?" "My dear Herbert, what are you talking about?"
"Answer his question, Jack. It's better."
"But I can't. I haven't the least idea who the lamented Mr. Vivian was." "Have you never spoken to your fiancée on the subject?" "Well, you know, in such a case as this, one doesn't very much care to talk about one's predecessor. I believe he was a merchant." Lottie, smiling quietly.
"Something in the city."
"Of course. How stupid of me to forget. I remember now quite well." "And on his death he left his widow a fortune."
$1,200 a year."
"You must consider yourself a very lucky chap." "I do, I can tell you." "I wonder if you would have married Mrs. Vivian if she had been penniless."
"If I had been, I should never have felt justified in asking him."
"What on earth are you trying to get at, Herbert?"
"He wants to know whether we are passionately in love with one another. I don't think we are, Mr. Peyton. We've both gone through a good deal, and we're rather tired of love. It makes one too unhappy. The man a woman loves seems always to treat her badly. We're content to be very good friends.